Frustrated that your last launch didn't go as planned? Feel like you have this amazing product, program, membership, yet when you pitch it to your list, you put it out there, you hear nothing but crickets? Well, today you're going to see and be able to set up a why didn't you buy campaign to get your answer. I'm Jason Resnick of NurtureKit, NurtureKit.co, and like I always say, when you treat your lists like humans, amazing results and transformations happens for them as well as you. So look, why would you do this, right? If you're not already doing this, that's it. You're here in this video. You're going to do this starting today because it's going to make everything so much easier in your sales and marketing because people are going to respond to this. But I get pushback when I say to clients, let's implement a why didn't you buy campaign, asking them why didn't you buy? Because the thing is, in reality, hey, you're the expert. You're supposed to have all of the answers, right? Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. See, when you are pushing out your blog posts to your list or your free content or webinar registrations, you get this immediate gratification that someone has acknowledged it because they shared it, liked it, they signed up for something or retweeted it or whatever. But when you start to actually send out something in exchange for money, like your course, your program, your membership, and so on and so forth, and you get those lackluster results, you're left wondering, well, what happened? I did all the research, I did all the homework, I asked all the questions, I read, you've answered the surveys, this is what you told me you wanted. Well, it can be extremely frustrating to really understand because you're essentially guessing then why they didn't buy. When you build it and they don't come, what happens? You're left wondering. So we're going to dive in here to this visual automation. It's super simple. It consists of one visual automation and one sequence, right? But the benefits are amazing because there's no more guessing, right? You'll hear from the horse's mouth of your potential customers why they didn't buy. You can then use it to change up your offer. You could put it in an FAQ. You can even craft content around why they didn't buy, right? Now, the goals of this is to get somebody to reply and to give an honest answer. Now, before we dive in quickly, I want to mention, when you implement something like this, most people are going to respond with price being the reason. Now, look, I don't suggest discounting to a lot of my clients. Price is subjective. We see the price up here, they see the price down here. It's value-based, right? We see the value all the way up here aligned with the price. They see the value down here aligned with their price that they have in mind. Your sales and marketing, your email communications, your webinars, and so on and so forth is supposed to close that gap so that you can meet together and they make that purchase. Well, if they didn't buy and they tell you price, it's your job to show them the value. Maybe you didn't show it enough. Maybe you didn't explain it well enough. You need to do that. Or they'll tell you that they've got too much going on and the time isn't right. Well, that's where you would then need to show how your product can quell their overwhelm or their anxiety and be beneficial to them saving time. But one thing I want to mention is that you are going to get genuine responses in their voice, and you can easily answer some of these responses right then and there. And it's just a slight misalignment or miscommunication between your sales page and there and what they perceive as what it is that they're going to get. First, we're going to go ahead and in this automation, apply a driver tag. Now, I subscribe to the driver philosophy that I do explain in another video. Certainly go ahead and check that out. But we start off by using a driver tag that's prefixed with send, and then this abbreviation, basically, why didn't you buy, right? And then name of product. Now, this is a shared automation, which you could get the link below. You can actually opt in and get any of the shared automations that are released on this channel at the time of release once you opt in. So certainly go ahead and do that below. And then it's the name of the product. Then we apply a start tag just so that we have this track of whatever it is that the subscriber is going through. Then I apply the D&D tag. Now this is a do not disturb tag that I apply so that I filter out regular broadcast emails to them because I want them to concentrate on this email. I don't want to muddy the waters or confuse them of what action I want them to take. Then I go ahead and I send them the why didn't you buy sequence. It's one email and it's asking why didn't you buy? That's it. Plain and simple. And yes, as you grow and scale, you might not want all of the replies coming through. And I get that. So you can level up this with trigger links of the reasons, the common reasons that you get, or send them off to a form and have them fill in the form. Now, I've had the best experience with an open-ended, hey, can you just reply to this email and let me know? That's been my experience. So that's what I suggest you do, especially when you start, because again, when you start to do trigger links, then you're starting to bucket them into responses that you feel that they're going to answer. And if you've never asked this question before, it's all a guessing game until you ask, okay? So I suggest that you would at least initially respond with, hey, can you reply? Then we'll delay for 2 days. Now, again, I suggest that you send one email, especially if it's less than $100. If it's a high ticket item, $5,000, $10,000, then you might want 2 emails. And if that's the case, then I've built into this automation an event that they can then go ahead and get applied to that subscriber record. A tag gets applied that they've answered based on a click. You can use it based on an integration point from a Zapier recipe or a form processor that you're using that's tied into ConvertKit. Once this tag gets applied, they get pulled out, and then they don't get the second email if they've answered that first email. And then we apply the driver tag for completed, and then we move on and remove the D&D tag. It's simple, it's effective. And once this is in place, you now can start collecting those replies. You don't have to guess anymore. If you have never sent one of these emails out before, I would just go ahead and send out this email plain and simple as a broadcast to those people that didn't buy in your last pitch so that you can improve your next pitch, your next email send sequence. You can improve your webinars. You can improve all of your marketing around it because you now have data that you've collected. If this was helpful or any piece of this was helpful to you, go ahead, click that subscribe button, click that bell notification so that you do get notified when a new video gets dropped. And as I said at the top, when you do treat your lists like humans, amazing transformations happens for them as well as yourself.